Hi everyone! Hey, the other day I was going through a stack of old magazines I happen to have on hand, and I came across this back issue of Rubber Stamper magazine. It's from September 2005, and in it I found this adorable Japanese kimono styled card, and I thought, oh, how cute that would be to make, but as so often is the case with a lot of these magazines is they give a list of supplies, but they don't give much instruction on how to actually make the project. So after a few attempts of my own, I figured out how to fold this card, and I thought I'd share that with you today so that you can make your own. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And the first step is to make a gate fold. To do that, you'll need to make 2 score lines. Your first score line is at 2 1/8 inch. And the second score line is at 6 3/8 of an inch. Okay, you've got your 2 scores. You're going to fold on those score lines you just made. And you have your gate fold, where the edges meet in the middle. Okay, the next step is to make the sleeves of your kimono. And I'm going to use this grid on my cutting mat. And I'm going to line this edge up with a line on my cutting mat here. And you're going to need a straight edge metal ruler. And you're going to want to measure 2 inches from this edge down to your ruler. So I've lined my ruler up with a line that's 2 inches from the top. And you're going to need an X-Acto knife or hobby blade. And you're going to make a cut on this fold and on this fold. And your cuts are going to be 3/4 of an inch. So I want to come in 3/4 of an inch from this side and 3/4 of an inch from this side. And you'll want to have to push that hobby blade down pretty hard to make sure you cut through both with thicknesses of your cardstock. And if you didn't, you can always use a pair of scissors to trim it up. So when you get finished, you'll see you have a cut on each of these folds. Okay, and the next step is to open your card up, and you're going to fold this lower edge below the line that you cut. You're going to fold it in, and using this edge and lining it all up to make sure it's straight, you're going to use your score tool again and make a nice fold there. Now fold this back on itself. Line this edge up with the fold you just made. Line this edge up with the bottom edge of your card and make another fold. Okay? And you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the card. Okay, and essentially that is your card. It should look like this on the inside. You've got your 2 sleeves of your kimono. Now we're going to cut the neckline of your kimono. And to do that, I usually just like to lay my ruler along the bottom of the sleeve there, and I just take a pencil and I just kind of mark it. And again, I'm using the grid on my cutting mat here, and I just make 2 lines, pair of scissors, and I cut those 2 pieces off. So essentially that is your kimono, and now you're just going to decorate it however you'd like, and it's all done. I'd like to show you a few samples of ones that I made. Put these aside. Okay, here's my first one, and you may recognize this paper if you watched my last video tutorial. I made this with the napkin transfer technique, and so it was actually a napkin. Anyway, and then as you can see, I forgot what these are called. They're not cummerbunds, but the little belt for your kimono. I put a piece of origami paper that I had, and then I just tied a ribbon around it, and this is another piece of origami paper. And I'm not going to untie this knot, but on the inside, you can see maybe that I stamped the inside of my card. Okay, and then having fun, I thought it'd be fun to add a little, more character to it. Now this one would fit in your standard envelope, but this one you'd probably need an oversized envelope if you were going to mail it. And how I made her is I just cut 2 circles in black, basic black cardstock, and then 1 circle I cut in half and I put that on the front, and then in here I cut a slightly smaller circle and I cut those with my colossal tool, and I cut that and kind of slipped it in between the 2 circles I'd already cut, and I glued everything down. Her bun here is made by just using an oval punch, and I added a little flower for her hair with another punch. I just punched that shape out here. The dragonflies are just stamped and then heat embossed with some clear embossing. And as you can see, well, I guess I could untie this, but see if I can untie it here on the camera without too much trouble. I stamped my message on the inside here. So it's all done. And again, I used another little piece of origami paper I cut and used for her little belt here. Okay, and then maybe you don't need a kimono themed card. Here's another idea. I made it to look kind of like a bathrobe, and I thought this would be really fun if you were having a sleepover party. You could make your invitations look like a bathrobe, or maybe you're serving somebody breakfast in bed. This is be a really fun way you could make a little menu for them. And just the same instructions for making the card. And I just made the little bunny slippers. These were just 2, I punched a circle with a circle punch and cut it in half, and then the eyes and the nose are just smaller circle punches that I used. For the bunny ears, I just used another punch that I had. It was a flower punch, and I just used 2 of the petals for the ears on the bunnies there. And I just closed this one also with a ribbon. In this case, it's the belt for the bathrobe. And you can just stamp your sentiment in there again. So those are my samples. I hope you have fun with this idea, and you can make your own kimono or bathrobe, whatever. Have fun with it. Thanks for joining me. Bye.